Maybe you can show me how to love. Maybe I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to do too much. You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and since it is cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly where you're going. And I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. I'm running out of time, so I hit the road and overdrive. I can see the sun light up the sky, baby. Since it is cold and empty, no one's around to judge me. I can see clearly where you're going. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust. Just walking by to let you know I can never say it on the phone. We'll never let you go this time. I said, oh, I'm blinded by the lights. No, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm blinded by the lights. Oh, I can't sleep until I feel your touch. I said, ooh, I'm drowning in the night. Oh, when I'm like this, you're the one I trust.
Well, well, well. We are indeed back again. Hopefully, we are live, right? If I indeed have it correct, we should be live, at least. But you know me, sometimes, unbelievably, I get it wrong. We'll go with that. But hopefully tonight I've got it right. We should be streaming live right now on, well, it is now That's Life, but not as we know it, live, instead of, what was it before? That's Life, but not as we know it, 2. So I restructured the 3 different channels to an extent. Does that mean there won't be any live streaming on the original channel? Possibly there will be still. I'm debating, so I might when I've got a guest on, it might be on the original channel, and when it's little old me, it might be here, right, on That's Life, but not as we know it live. So hopefully that doesn't confuse anyone. It will confuse me, but that's all good, right? Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are in this absolutely insane world that we live in. Holy moly. Where do you even begin? Yikes. Every day, every week that goes by now, it's complete insanity, more and more, to a point where what we have, I mean, it's honest to God, we've got people in the UK, politicians in particular, but all kinds of entities and people, they cannot define what a woman is. They simply can't do it. They don't have the knowledge. What happened? Where are we? Where are we? Honest to God, it's like waking up in some kind of completely and utterly messed up nightmare. Not even a horror, just the strangest dream ever, where grown men could not even define what a female woman is, or should it is, basically. That's it. Not should be, is, straight up. There is no beating about the bush. And of course a woman is not a man. Incoming strike. I mean, people can't even say that today. Oh no, you can't say that. What, you can't say that a woman is not a man and cannot be a man? The same as the other way about. And it's quite funny, when you listen to some of the politicians trying to answer the question. They can't do it, man. Honest to God, it's so pathetic. They're so spineless, bending over to the agenda, the transgender agenda, completely bending over to it all over the place. And it's like, wow, how did we get here? Anybody? Anyone want to take a crack at that? So yeah, we're back again, and last night I was watching RV Truth, Russian vids. I think it's They Live. The channel's called now. They Live Live. Maybe, I'm unsure. Um, most people will know he's quite big on the flat Earth, but for me, the biggest, the best thing that RV does is the work that he does on symbology. It's outstanding, to be honest. There's hardly there's hardly anybody that's better, that's about today. And I had to put a comment in the live stream, and I got a very good shout out from RV himself, who recommended the channel and the content, and I was like, what? Who, me? You can't be talking about me, right? But yeah, he was. So I was quite, I was very flattered, blown away, because for me, RV's been about so long. So to get the heads up, if you like, I was very flattered and quite, yeah, shocked, I guess. Quite shocked, but there you go. You're in good company, right? But add to that, last week, when was it? I can't remember what day exactly, but I had put a comment on the Richie Allen show, and then Richie went on to say that he had watched one of the, I think possibly the last maybe live stream that I done, and he gave it good feedback, and I was like, "What? Who, me?" Again, completely shocked, right? Honest to God, and when it, I mean, it might sound like nothing to some people, and I can get that, but to me, it's like, wow, so shocked, very flattered indeed. And I hope Richie enjoyed the stream that you watched. And when it comes to Richie Allen, I mean, in regards to independent media, I don't think there's any better. The amount of work that Richie puts in is quite incredible, honest to God. And I've been listening to Richie since about the end of 2014, and honestly, for a for an independent journalist, you're going to be hard pushed in the UK anyway to find anyone that's better. And at least that's my opinion. So to hear that from Richie, I was quite, yeah, I was blown away, honest to God. And it was funny because my son was there at the time, and he was like, "Who, you? Can't be you, right?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I thought that as well." But I had one of my friends heard it and got in touch, and I think they were quite shocked as well. So no pressure, right? But yeah, I'm very flattered. So we've had quite a few mentions in the past. There was one other that now fails me, which is typical. But yeah, we keep going, right? We're going to be here for as long as we can. I mean, we get strikes like there's no tomorrow. I've been trying my best not to get them lately, of late, but I mean, it's hard, right? It's hard trying to watch what you've got to say, especially when you talk about the super duper gene juice. And yeah, it can be tough. I've lost count of how many strikes I've picked up over the two different channels that I've got. You could be talking into about, including including videos removed when I was deleted, because that happened as well. Strangely enough, that was really weird. I've mentioned that before, but my channel got deleted. But even when it was deleted, oh man, I was getting emails from YouTube saying, "Nope, we've removed the video." And it's like, yeah, the channel's terminated, mate. Where have you been? But ain't it funny? Ain't it really interesting how things pan out? Because even though it was terminated, we got it back, right? Did YouTube know it was gonna be back and remove the videos they wanted removed? They still went on to remove videos. I mean, in regards to a number on removed content, oh man, you would be talking about maybe 60 plus videos. Not all of them would have been a strike. Strike wise, you're probably talking about at least 30 to 40, possibly. We're on no strikes on this channel currently. I can breathe easy, right? I can say what I want now. We in the in an ideal world, we want to avoid them because we don't want to get YouTube prison and all the rest of that stuff, right? I'm fed up of going into prison with them bloody thought police. So we don't really want it. We try our best not to, but if it comes, it comes. I mean, we're back down to no strikes here. We're only on one on the original, and that'll be gone soon. So we can breathe a bit better. And of course, you might have seen in the description that there is a guest announcement. And it would be once a guest, twice a pest. Do we know that one? So can we guess who it might be? I'm hoping it's going to be next week, right? Let me get rid of the banner, man. I'll change it. We're professional tonight. There you go. I can hardly read that, to be honest. It's so small. That's what she said. Anyway, we'll go with that. Some of you might be able to guess. Let me jump in the comments and we can say, good evening. We might look at a few bits as well. While while the iron is hot in the fire. I don't know. One of them. So we're giving away a check to the first person who can guess who the guest announcement is going to be. I did actually mention it before, I think, so some of you might know already. We have got Carol in the hood. Good to see Carol back again. A pleasure to see you tonight with the sunflower. Do you know this? I had two, and I was looking forward to seeing them in full bloom in their full glory. I had two sunflowers, and I was going diversity style because they were brown or black sunflowers, so we were diversity, right? And I grew them from seed, and then I thought, right, they're ready to go out, and they were looking great, honest to God, and of course they looked too good. Because, and I was so bloody annoyed as well. A snail, or a few snails anyway, they ate them. Pretty much, I think they're finished now. I think they could be doomed. So a wee bit disappointed with that. I should have maybe went and waited and then put them out. So lesson learned, right? And I did find a snail or two and threw it. I didn't kill it, but I threw it about 2 miles away. Adios. And but I mean, yeah, it's bloody annoying that. So I don't know. Next year I'm gonna have to try a bit different. Yeah, from seed. Justine's in the hood as well. Good to see Justine back again. I think somebody's got it already. It didn't take much then, right? We couldn't hide it. It was Carmel that got it from New Zealand or Old Zealand. We call it that now. And Rich, of course, in the hood as well. Good to see you. Phil, good to see my brother Phil back again. A pleasure to see you. Wendy B in the hood, a pleasure to see you. Anybody that I missed? Oh, Scotty, there you go. Good to see Scotty back again. Did I miss someone else? Potentially, knowing me, right? I don't think I did. We're all good in the hood. I think we might be all right. So yeah, it is indeed Bart Sibrel. He's going to be back again, and I mean, I think we all know Bart now. By now, I can't say. Well, you can watch. Talking about strikes as well, I can't say. Oh, you can watch the last interview I done with Bart Sibrel because you can't. The Fort police took it away, and it was up for about a year, if I remember correctly. Maybe not that long, but it was up for a while, and then YouTube took it down, and I got a strike. The claim was medical misinformation. Dun, dun, dun. Me and Bart talking about the moon, but I think Bart did mention at one point about the super duper gene treatment. So I might have to say to Bart, look, watch, be careful, right? But hey, it could have been me. We had a quite a wide discussion in regards to topics. So but they claimed it was medical misinformation. Of course, when it comes to Bart Sibrel, in my view, he is pretty much the go-to on information regarding the faked moon landing. There's not many that could tell you more on the why it's been faked or what proves that it's fake. The book that Bart wrote, Moon Man, is incredible. Not only that, the latest confession that he got from, I'm forgetting the guy's name, Eugene, maybe. I mean, I did show that before. I'm assuming everyone here's seen it, right? Should we maybe watch it for reference? Possibly we might. How long is it? I think it might be about 10 minutes long. Kari's in the hood as well. Back again. Good to see you. I'm unsure. But I'm hoping we're gonna get Bart back on next Thursday. I'm kinda wanting to do it live. So people can interact. But it would be about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, UK time. Because Bart is currently in bugger. I can't remember. The other side of the world, put it that way. I think he's about 6 hours behind or in front. I can never know. So once we work that out, he has agreed already. So I can't confirm it, but I can't confirm a time at the moment. But it's going to be great. When I interviewed Bart the last time, there was after it, I thought, oh bugger, I should have said this. I should have asked that. You know how you do, right? So this time, I might write a few questions down. That would be the sensible for. Yeah, well, not much sense here, right? Sure. So I also maybe thought people could send in questions. I reckon possibly in real time, rather than a million questions getting sent and me writing them down. I'm sure Bart will be happy enough with that. Some of you might have questions for him, so we can do that, right? And I've got a few that I can ask him. We've got different topics to discuss, but clearly it's going to be focused on the faked moon landing. Yeah, I mean it's quite funny to think that there is people out there who still think it's not fake. And then there's the other people who think, yeah, well, they faked that, but they didn't fake the rest of it. Ah, yeah, 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 okay. Okay. So, and then there's us, of course, where it's all fake. Yep, they faked it all. The whole lot. And interesting because Bart is of the impression that the Chinese landed a rover on the moon. Whereas me personally, I'm unsure about that. I couldn't put my weight behind that being true. I mean, it's China, right? But what do I know? Or maybe they're not lying about that, but they lied about, yeah, you know what? Incoming strike, right? Um, I don't think they pick and choose what to lie about. I think they just lie straight up, right across the board. I mean, we live in a world of complete deception. At every turn, every corner, it's there, lurking like a dark cloud, like the dark black rock cloud, if you like, or the Rockefeller cloud. Let's not give them ideas, right? Uh, do you know this? I had an interesting thought today. It's probably not going to make any sense, but I was at college and I was watering the plants. I was helping out doing watering, and I was in the greenhouse, and it was what a beautiful day we had. Absolutely beautiful. And I was in the greenhouse, watering the plants, beautiful plants, lots of different alpines, perennials. What, honestly, about 6 different greenhouses full of everything you can think of. It's an amazing place for me. But I kind of thought I was thinking about the climate change scenario, the climate change agenda, and when I was at school, going back about 25 year ago, I remember them talking about greenhouse gases. Yeah, it's greenhouse gases. And I never ever, for the life of me, I never ever looked into, and I still haven't. Why are they called greenhouse gases? And honestly, I'm unsure. So someone can maybe maybe fill us in, right? But when I was in this greenhouse and I was thinking about that, I couldn't help but think, wow, is that what they're putting us in? A greenhouse, basically. I mean, we talk about controlling the climate. Yeah, well, we do that in greenhouses, don't we? That's what we do. And we can completely control the environment in a greenhouse. Is that what we're being put into? Um, possibly. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong, right? We can smash out of it. The spraying not too bad of late where I'm at. So, I mean, when it's a beautiful blue sky, I really do enjoy it like there's no tomorrow. Honestly, I'm like, yay! Blue sky! Look at the beautiful blue sky! Oh, look, there's that madman again. Praising the blue sky. Ah, man. I think before last week, we had about 2 weeks of constant grey blanket. Terrible, horrendous rain. We had a terrible May. Weather-wise, it was poor. And now the temperature is heating up. And we're heading into the greenhouse effect, right? Hmm. Yeah. It dawned on me today in the greenhouse. I thought, yeah, that's what they're putting us in. A greenhouse, basically. By manipulating the climate. They can't do that. Of course they can't. That would be a conspiracy theory. Do we still have them today? Conspiracy theories. I'm unsure. Good to see Phil back again. Oh, Analog as well in the hood. Good to see you. Yeah, great stuff. So I'm hoping maybe next Thursday we're going to get Bart on. The great Bart Sibrel. There's lots to get into. Not only that, when I got Bart on before, his book had only been released, so I didn't want to give away too much about it. It was more to try and kinda promote it, I guess, to an extent. But this time, it's been out for a while. We all know a lot about it. We have not reviewed it, I guess, but we've spoke about it before. So I want to get into a wee bit more and a wee bit more about the New Mexico Air Force Base at Clovis. I want to get into that a wee bit more. The people that worked there, seemingly there was, I think, a gentleman who possibly or seemingly, going by what someone told Bart, got murdered at the base because he was going to blow the lid on the filming of the moon landing. And I kinda want to maybe see if we can get to the bottom of that. If we can connect or pin down a reported possibly suspicious murder or death at the camp at the time, then it adds a lot more weight to the confession. And I mean, there's so many things that connect it in regards to NASA and the Clovis Air Force Base in New Mexico. And in my own personal view, it is truly undeniable now. Some people, they simply don't care anyway. And they will, I guess the majority of sheeple would even think, yeah, well, they might have faked that, but they don't fake it now. Look, you can watch the footage on the ISS. It's in space. Yeah, well, straight off the bat, it's not, right? It's not in space anyway. There's always deception straight off the bat. And any time the hidden hand is at work, you can be guaranteed straight away confusion. Nothing concrete whatsoever. Look at the confusion surrounding the pandemic. I mean, they still don't know anything about it. Oh, we're never going to find out, they said. Of course, yeah, it's all very fitting. What's going on? What's big in the news at the moment? Do you know this? I don't really watch the news that much. I only tend to look up news on topics that I'm looking into. I have seen a lot of stuff about, I don't know, some TV presenter, Philip Schofield, in I think the TV program This Morning or Good Morning Britain. I don't know, but I mean, I've got no interest in anything like that. I wouldn't come on here and be covering a story on Philip Schofield. It simply would not happen. I haven't got the time for complete nonsense like that. If there's an entity that's working for a big media company is presenting big TV shows, I can guarantee you this right now. They are not good people. No way. They can't be. How could they be? They might claim to be, but they clearly are not. Not working for these entities, criminal entities like ITV, the BBC, Sky, you name it. Doesn't matter. You're wasting your time even looking into these clowns because they will be puppets, no two ways about it. So I kind of think, well, I'm not. I wouldn't waste my time. I've got no interest in that sort of stuff. Um, so I wouldn't. More sort of topics that I've covered in the past. You're likely to see discussions on here or potential videos, I guess. Some of you might have seen as well. It cracked me up when I seen it, man. Oh, fucking hell. And again, it's a sign of the complete madness of the world that we're in today. I'm hoping the audio's all right, by the way. I did switch the microphone on. So we should be good. And I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, man. Someone will have to remind me. I was going somewhere there. Man. One of these days we're going to get it right. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We can move on. That's what happens when there's no script. Could you imagine me trying to read from a script? I mean, come on, right? That would be too hard. Too hard for me. I can hardly read the comments while I'm talking. And never mind a script. I remember someone said that before. Oh, yeah, he reads off a script. Oh, fucking. Honest to God, man. The people you get, we're all good in the hood. Oh, great. Thank you, Wendy, Justine. Oh, my cat. Snoring in the background. Ah, yeah. Great to be a cat, right? Not a care in the world. Yeah. I wanted to maybe have a look. Not at the Philip Schofield stuff, but possibly. I think there's stuff going on at the moment. Come on, get it out, right? With wildfires. I'm unsure where. Let me see. I mean, I'm always suspicious of wildfires, put it that way. And I shouldn't laugh, but I am a suspicious person. Anything that's in the media, I'm very suspicious of it. Ah, that's the headline that I've seen. Canada. Wait, what? Canada? Ah, climate change. Look at what yous have done. Let me see if I can go back and screen share. What have yous done to Canada? See what you done by driving to work and eating them the bacon and egg roll in the morning. Honestly. We've got wildfires in Canada. I mean, when I think of Canada, I kind of think of snow as well. Wildfires, I don't know. Is it a natural thing in Canada? Probably. Are the media blowing it out of proportion? Most likely. Would I rule out manipulation from evil entities? Most definitely not. And I've not even looked into it, but you wouldn't put anything off of the table. No way would you. I think in the past, there's been weaponry mentioned in regards to wildfires. See, Wendy knows the score, right? There's no snow in Canada in the summer, you stupid. That's me. Of course, what do I know, right? What do I know? There you go. Um, yeah, so Mexico, New Mexico, Arizona, Oregon, Washington, is it? Is that where there's wildfires at the moment? Um, we'll have a look, will we? Catnip. No, my cat would go insane. She's already, she's already crazy, man. Honestly, but she's fast asleep. Little bugger. She's always sleeping. Every time I'm live, she's fast asleep. A catnip vape. Yeah. Well, that would be a weed vape, right? That would be one full of weed, surely, for a human, at least. The cats vape. Don't sure. I'm not sure they do. I've been trying to give up vaping. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I went from smoking to vaping. Well, still smoking in it, but smoking tobacco. I smoked tobacco for about maybe too long. Too long, to be honest. I shouldn't laugh because it's not funny. And I must have smoked from when I was about 13 year old at school. And I stopped smoking tobacco about maybe 5 years ago. So I've been vaping now for about 5 years, and I've got the urge now to kick it. So I've kind of cut back, and I can feel myself gonna give up. I kind of want to quit while I'm ahead, right? That's the idea. Not before it's too late. I mean, any heated chemical in your lung is not a good idea. That's for sure. But hey, we've all got our crosses to bear. We've all got our guilty pleasures, right? When I'm drinking coffee and stuff like that, I kind of think, yeah, I should give it up. I should kick it. Kick all the bad habits, right? Ideally. And I mean, you've kind of got to if you want to lead by example. And I don't want my kids to think that it's okay to smoke because in my own view, it's not. But it's quite hypocritical. Me telling them not to smoke when I smoke. Uh, so I don't know. My late father, he never had an issue with smoking. He was old school. I mean, he was born in the 40s, 1942. And I mean, they probably smoked when they were babies. And to him it wasn't bad, basically. But to me it is. They've conditioned me to think that it is, right? But I think it would be hard you would be hard pushed to argue a case for cigarettes. I can't see any benefit or good to them at all. And it's a tough one because people say, well, ban them, get them banned. But I disagree with that as well. I disagree with banning them. I think people should have the choice by all means, but know what you're walking into. And of course, even people who do smoke and do know, they still do it. It can be hard to give up. That is for sure. But people do. People have. Many people have. I know people who have stopped, like just stopped, and that was it. Completely just cold turkey. So it can be done. There should be no excuses, really, right? I do think that myself. Um, I tend to think, right, well, I can give up the vape, the coffee. I don't know. I don't know if I could give that up, to be honest. Um, yeah, that would be tough. Seriously tough. Does anyone here think they could give up coffee? I doubt it, right? I doubt it. Let me see if I can jump to the article. Mm, 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 mm. Can I screen share? Um, entire screen. Here we go. Nope. Oh, there we go. Bum, 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 bum. Why is it not on? Ah, there we go. So, let me get rid of Joan. Yeah. Yeah, we know what happened to Joan, right? What I mean, oh man, the shock when Joan Rivers said, "Oh, don't be silly. We all know Michelle Obama is a tranny, is a man," and the guy was like, "What?" In complete shock and awe. What? And like could lost for words, basically. And I mean, yeah, when you look at her after you know that, it's like, well, how did people not even see? I mean, I'm not an expert on establishing someone that I don't know personally as male or female, right? But I mean, there's always you're kind of your gut instinct tells you a lot, and when it comes to Michelle Obama, I don't know, like I don't get a good feeling. I don't get a good feeling. There was a guy I can't remember if you recall. There was a guy, the trans. What was his name again? Why is that not bloody going away? There we go. The tran. What was it? The trans investigator. Does anyone remember? I shared a video, or we talked about it. What happened there? Oh my god! What have they done to my screen? We've went on to a million a million screens again. Why has it done that? Honest to God. I don't know why it done that. And anyway, the guy, the trans investigator guy, he called out quite a lot of people. And some of them I thought, I don't know, like I couldn't buy some of them, but that was maybe more in hope than anything else. I mean, yeah, some of them I would definitely question, but to the extent where they're 9 out of 10 of these people, entities, celebrities, I'm not so sure. I mean, I do know people, I have met people in the past who are female and are of the trying to be polite, are are maybe a wee bit more of the manly, a manly kind of structure. more masculine, possibly. But they are definitely female. And I remember one in particular, and I mean, you could have swore on, you could have put your house on this being a guy, but it wasn't a guy. And it was a girl who was actually part of a rugby team, full of guys as well at the school, the high school here. And I shouldn't laugh, but honestly, you would have bet your life on this dude being a guy, but it wasn't a guy. It was a girl, and she used to basically knock the knock the guys out at rugby. She was a brute, her like solid man, and she was definitely a girl. Not that I personally found that out, but I know people who definitely knew. Went to school with her, and she was a girl. But I mean, looking at her, you would have been adamant it was a guy. So you definitely do get females out there that look a bit like men, and the other way about as well, especially today with the feminization of men. I mean, holy Jesus. I mean, men today, in the sort of mainframe of society, the new current generation, I mean, it's unrecognizable to even me, born in the 80s, the late 80s, may I add. I mean, it's so far from the world that I even grew up in. It's hard to comprehend or see where it's going to be in, say, 20, 30 years' time. That's going to be the smart world, right? Oh, Scots is in the hood. Good to see Scots back again. A pleasure to have you tonight, brother. All is good by the grace of God. Scott's a good Christian man himself. Great stuff. Good to see you tonight. Oh, Richard as well in the hood. Was a girl. Yeah, yeah. Well, you know what I mean, right? But honestly, you could have swore. And I mean, I remember actually going along just to watch this girl knock the guys out at rugby. And yeah, it was quite funny. Um, so and there's other people that I know of who, yeah, they did look a bit suspect, but I know they were definitely female. But you could see in the future they might change their name to, I don't know, Ron or Dave or something like that, right? Um, I mean, it's an interesting one as well, but I feel that it's been pushed by the media, it's been pushed by the agenda. They're manipulating the minds of the people. No two ways about it. Um, I know people who say it basically anybody who wants to be a different gender is or should be deemed as not mentally fit or potentially mentally ill. And I kind of lean towards that. Um, I mean, I think these people, they may well definitely within themselves genuinely feel and believe that they are a different, a man and not a female. She didn't laugh, but I mean, it's insane, right? They may genuinely feel that, but that will not biologically change the fact of life. Simply will not change it. But here we are today. I mean, this is one of these situations I do think, right, where's this going? This cannot end well, right? And we know Bill Cooper talked about the basically the destruction of the family unit, the mum, the dad, the children, the marriage, the long life, the health, the holidays. Oh, that's going to be a thing of the past now. That's the way it's heading, right? And of course, what's going to drive it there is the holy grail, the golden carrot, which is, of course, net zero. It's all going to be about, it's already all about net zero. Will I try and screen share again? Is it a wise idea? Good to see Richard in the Hood and Scots as well. Carrots can be, yeah, Jesus. Yep, up is down, down is up, left is right. But white is always bad, right? That'll never change now. Yeah. Yeah, the demonization of Christianity and I guess white people in the UK. Some people don't even see it. So blinded. They can't see past their nose, basically. They simply can't. And if you put on the television in the UK now, you can't even find a white person hardly. Every advert you put on is a mixed race or Asian or black. Diversity, right? But without the white people. It's almost like they're setting up the white guy for the fall. Ah, the white man done it. A bit like how people would have been set up when they claimed the Knights Templar got taken out and burnt to the ground. Ah, the Knights done it. Get them, take them out, right? Yeah. I shouldn't laugh, but I kind of feel that the way it's going, anger is going to be directed potentially at anybody who's white. Because white privilege, right? But I think there's going to be many up for the being a target. People who are not carbon efficient enough, they're going to be public enemy. People who don't abide by guidelines and the latest gene juice, they're going to become, they already are. We already are, kind of. Another public enemy. But I think as well, Christianity, you can add that to the frame. It's been getting a beating now for quite a while. And it'll be kind of one by one in lockstep because we know what the plan is there. The one world government. And I mean, that's not even a conspiracy theory. It's all there in black and white. The one world government, the one world government with the one world religion, which is already in place, about the only religion that's recognized by, I think it's the United Nations, but we can trust them. They're the good guys, right? Yeah. And do you know this? We here today in Elgin, some of you might have heard, a hotel got filled with immigrants. And today, when I was in the park, um, some immigrant walked up to the bench that I was sitting on with a, a, a friend at college, and he was asking for a cigarette. The fucking brass neck, right? Honestly, he was like roaming around the park, and it came up, and at first I couldn't understand what he was saying. I thought, oh, fucking hell, here we go. And I kind of thought, oh man, is this a sign of what it's going to be like? We're going to have these random fucking immigrants roaming around, mooching off everyone, asking for money and cigarettes and trying to trying to sell you stuff, probably committing crime, I'd imagine. And I mean, some people think, well, if you say a bad word about it, you're a racist. Absolute nonsense. So now all of a sudden, caring about your community, where all different backgrounds stay, is racist. How does that work? Exactly. I mean, you've got to prioritize, right? If you can say it. And the bottom line is simply this: we are in no fit state to be taking anybody in. No fit state whatsoever. And filling wee towns like this with immigrants is only going to fuel a fire that potentially may never go out. And I mean, yeah, the guy only asked for a cigarette, but even the brass neck of him to come up and out of the blue and interrupt my conversation, but to just the brass neck to ask for a cigarette, I kind of felt like saying to him, right, what's your name? But take out a fake police ID, right? What's your name? What you doing here? What you doing in the park? Someone knows the one world religion. I think a lot of people here are switched on to the way it's going down at the moment. Yeah, can I bum a fag? He didn't say that. I can't. Do you know this? He was like saying, "Oh, smoke, smoke. You have smoke, cigarette." And I think he must have been, I don't know, Albanian or Romanian, Middle Eastern, I think. I don't think he was Asian, but it was hard to say, to be honest. But I know there's two hotels at the moment getting, one of them's already been filled up, pretty much. And hey, I feel I'm quite an open and honest person. I give people the benefit of the doubt. I'll judge them on merit. But if there's any issues whatsoever in on my watch, then you'll be the first to find out about it. I really hope that anyone who does come here would treat the town and its people with respect. But that would be living in a fantasy world, that, right? I can't see that happening. And where was the consent from the community itself? I bet no one got asked. I bet you any money. They did not bother asking anyone what they fucking thought. Because again, well, it's simple because people would have said, no, we don't want it. Well, why would we want it? Have you seen the world we're currently in? Let's talk about real issues that we need to solve here in the communities that we live in. Oh, but Ukraine, right? Syria, Ukraine, the war. And hey, I guess we shouldn't be guilty because white privilege, right? Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, when you take a step back, they've completely annihilated the UK. It is completely fucking gone. They did not even have to drop a bomb in the UK to completely wipe it out and rip the fucking spine right out of it. It's gone. Completely gone. What an absolute mess it's in. And the sheep'll probably call it progression. Yeah, progression to what exactly? A totalitarian, tyrannical nightmare. And I remember I used to think, oh, if there was like martial law, the police wouldn't, or the army, they wouldn't beat up their own people. And then today, kind of thinking about that, I thought, well, probably not going to be their own bloody people anyway, is it? Say, I don't know, say when they flick the switch and we have the alien invasion and ET comes flying in and they send out martial law. I used to think they'd have to use foreign troops, but probably not actually. The UK's not the UK anymore. It's simply not. I mean, even when my town here, way, way, way up the top, is getting flooded, that gives you an idea of how far stretched it's going to be. And we might not even be at the beginning of it yet. And I think for decades now, since I can remember in about 2006, hearing about immigration to the UK from Poland and Romania. And I can remember people were not happy about that. And they were called racist, of course. I mean, when I think back, was I happy about it myself? I don't know. I didn't think it was such a bad idea. And it was, I mean, it wasn't an influx of migrants who were, I mean, I don't want to sound offensive. Man, try not offend anyone. It's impossible. But they're not just off the back of a banana boat, if you know what I mean. They've got a bit of an education. They've got a bit of a brain about them. Some of them well educated, I mean, doctors and all kinds of things. I don't think we're talking about that now. We're talking about economic migrants now. And of course, you've got people saying, "Well, actually, they're UN," and I mean, I can't rule that out. Do I think that personally? I'm unsure. I've not seen anything myself that would point to that, but I mean, I couldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out. And what will tell on that is time. Time will tell on it. Then we'll see, and we'll maybe get a clearer picture as to who who these immigrants really are and why they are really here. And I'd imagine we'll find out in no time. There's been a lot of issues with identification, or they've not got their ID, or he lost his ID, or he threw his ID away. And I mean that only adds to the the suspicion surrounding these people. So you can't blame anyone for being suspicious of them. And hey, whatever's gonna be is gonna be. And if they yeah, sometimes in life you can pick the wrong fight. You can knock on the wrong door. And I shouldn't laugh, but the, there's a video going about, and there's a group of teenagers who run into a person's house and claim it like their own in the toilet and sitting down in the living room in the fridge. And I think it became a bit of a TikTok thing. I don't know. But in the video that I seen briefly, you could see the fear on the woman's face. And she had a young kid, and the husband was there, and he was like in shock and didn't know what to do. Phone the police, yeah. Well, I can tell you right now, the police would have been the last people that I'd have been phoning. It would have been the parents of the of the teenagers who would have been phoning the police because their kid would not have returned home. Because I can tell you right now, I could not care who um or what walked in my door with bad intentions. It would be fucking leaving in plastic. I shit you not. No two ways about it. And that would be it. So if I, if I mean, I shouldn't laugh because I'll be serving time, right? But hey, if you get a good lawyer, and at the end of the day, if someone's broke into your house, you're on good grounds immediately, and yeah, you can tell them what happened. Honestly, what these sort of people they'll walk into the wrong house one day and they'll regret it if they're lucky. But I mean, it was genuine fear and it kind of boiled my blood even watching it. Kind of wishing I was there. Honestly, there would have been trouble. And this all adds to this increase in crime. It all adds to more security. Yeah, of course it does. So more security is on the increase. And again, that's kind of not what we need. But it's the society they've created now. Crime rate through the roof, death rate through the roof, suicide through the roof, drug rate through the roof, everything completely and utterly out of control. The NHS gone, broken. The police broken. The government broken. I mean, that was always broken, but even the sheeple are asking questions now. Oh, man. Of course, state collapse. Excuse me. Government collapse is on the cards. Coffee's coming back. That is seemingly on the cards, and I think we're seeing it already. Look at all the WhatsApp messages and stuff they've released. That's not by accident. All this is well planned out in advance. Ah, look at how bad they were. Look at how unfit they were. Yeah, we knew that anyway. But of course, they're not showing us, they're showing the sheeple. Look at them partying. Yeah. Look at them not wearing their masks. Look at them not being scared of the COVID. Yeah. And they are painting a picture now of the government being completely unfit for purpose. But of course, we know what the solution is going to be. Yeah. I wonder if anyone could. Of course, we know, right? What could it be? Maybe NASA are going to step up and lead the way. Become the government of the world. Yeah. Maybe not NASA, but I don't know. The World Health Organization or the United Nations. I think a sort of amalgamation. Is that the right word? Amalgamation? I think it might be. If they amalgamated, I don't even know if that's a word. If the UN and the World Health Organization combined and produced a baby, I think it could be the new world order government, one world government. But the way they're talking about the geoengineering, who's going to manage it? Who's going to be the one in control? Who's going to be the boss? We need a body, a big body, an international body. Yeah. So something's going to come from that. No two ways about it. And whatever body that is, I guess you could say controls the weather. So potentially controls the world. Control the weather, control the world, right? I mean, someone said, oh yeah, we can deal with bad weather. It's not quite that simple though. I mean, yeah, hey, I know all about bad weather, I can assure you. Being in bloody Murrayshire. I know all about bad weather. But I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about extreme weather. Extreme drought, extreme heat. And of course, what are we talking about then? We're talking about crop failure right across a nation potentially. And let's not forget, what do they keep saying when it comes to geoengineering, when it comes to stratospheric aerosol injection? What you're doing is robbing from Peter to pay Paul. So someone, no matter fucking what, is going to lose out. I think we're already losing out, to be honest. I shouldn't laugh, right? But that's what they keep saying. And I mean, when you look at the last live that we talked about it. They were talking about geoengineering. I mean, Honest to fucking God, man. They were talking about geoengineering being a plaster. Oh, it's like a wee bandage. Yeah. You know, when you cut your finger, you put a wee plaster on it. That's what geoengineering's like. Yeah. Sure. Let's go with that. Let me see if I can screen share quickly. We're going to go until about, I don't know, a wee bit longer. Not too late. I've still got to walk the dog. Hooray! Although it's a good night, I'm going to take my binoculars. Is it still clear? Yeah, still clear. Still quite light. Nearly 11. Still quite light. Yeah, that'll be that climate change. God damn it. All them cars and people driving to work. Honest to God. So, no, you can't bum a fag from me, right? That's more English than Scottish. I think we do. We say fag as well in Scotland. I can't think of any other word for it. Although I'm not a cigarette smoker today. Nasty habit, right? Let's go with that. So let me see if I can work it. Oh, Gary's in the hood as well. Good to see Gary and Katie. Good to see Katie Kane back again. I hope you're doing well. Anyone else that I missed? Scott's in the hood. I think we're all good. So I'm hoping to get Bart on next week. I reckon it could be the Thursday. Some of you might not be able to watch it live. It looks like it's going to be in the afternoon. That might suit people like Carmel. I don't know. It might suit the Americans in the group. But I want to do it live, so we can only work it around a decent time for Bart being in Mars currently. Let's go with that, right? I would like to ask Bart as well about his thoughts on the planet Mars. Have they sent probes there? Does he buy that? Personally, I don't. I can't buy it. I mean, for me personally, I don't even buy that Mars is a planet. I mean, that's how little trust I've got in the picture that they paint, the ever changing narrative, the ever changing smart image that they have of, I don't know, the universe. Yeah. And I mean, it changes all the time. Every week now. What did we say the last time about the galaxy? It was a different shape and there was bubbles. And remember, there was a kid blowing bubbles in the galaxy. Ah, fucking hell. I mean, that was a cracker, that, right? We might have a look actually at the than previously thought. That might be a good idea for a laugh, right? We'll go until about 11:30, so about another half an hour potentially. Than previously thought. Yes. It's kind of claim it as my own. I think I can claim it as my own. I don't think anyone ever done anything like it before. So I'm bloody claiming it as my claim to fame. Yeah, it's my only claim to fame. No, wait, actually, it's not. My other claim to fame, well, my only one probably, is the fact that I personally, well, at least me, I personally believe that I solved the mystery of who was behind the Georgia tombstones, aka the Georgia Guidestones. But of course, it doesn't matter now because they took them down. They ruined it. Put them back up. Of course, yeah, job done, I guess, right? So yeah, I kind of claim that I solved the 30, 40-year mystery of who is behind the Georgia Guidestones. Well, to be honest, it didn't take me long to narrow it right down to that one individual who ticked every single box. And I wait to be debunked on it. Are we screen sharing yet? No, we're not. Bugger. Wait a sec. Let me go back. I'm hoping you will be there, Justine. I'll be counting on you. I might have to issue press ups on the Friday if I'm back again. I could kind of do it, put it out at a decent time, pre-recorded. But I don't know, maybe people can let me know. Do we want to see it live or do we want pre-recorded? Personally, I feel I'd want to watch it in real time and stick my oar in with a stupid question, right? But I don't know. I'm hoping to do it live. I thought that would be the best option, but hey, I could be wrong. So I'll try and screen share. It wasn't Ted Turner. Of course it wasn't. I debunked that. That's another claim to fame as well. I debunked that. If we're going to go by the evidence that we get or have in front of us, for example, the interview from the only guy, I think there was 2 people, or maybe 3 people. The person who sold the land and I think the stonemason, the main stonemason, actually met the guy behind the tombstones. So if we're going by what they tell us, if we take that as, if you like, written in stone, he said the person behind them died. And he must have died before 2010. So that automatically rules out Ted Turner. Finished. As easy as that. It cannot be Ted Turner. It simply can't be. Because Ted Turner, as far as I know, is still alive, or at least was in 2010. So it can't be him. So anyone who claims it was Ted Turner, I'm sorry, but it can't be. Not if you're going to take the evidence we've got from the only or one of the only people to meet the guy. He gave away so much. He gave away key points regarding the individual, the fact that he was dead, the fact that he had a son. Then when you look at the tombstones themselves, what's written on it, the only thing in particular that stood out in my mind from the very beginning was the only thing that was written twice on them, and that was in regards to caring for nature or making room for nature. And when I started looking at different individuals and characters, I ruled out quite a few to begin with, easily ruled them out. But one individual in particular, like I said, I couldn't rule him out, and he ticked every single box. He fitted the description to who this person was to a T. And honest to God, I worked that all out pretty much in about a day. And I kind of think to myself, surely I'm wrong. Surely I must be wrong, right? I mean, it couldn't have been that simple for me, a fucking nobody from Elgin, just to simply put his mind to at least what we knew about the person behind it. So start to begin with. Who built it? Go to the person who built it. What can we find out from them? Who, what, where, why, when? From then, narrow it down. The stones themselves, the information on them. Even the stuff in regards to, I think, aliens or UFOs. Well, yeah, the Rockefellers, heavily connected to that as well. Lawrence, John Dee, even looks like a bloody alien. They all do, right? Maybe they are. Maybe they are. Who knows? But I'm adamant, and I was adamant from the start that my gut instinct when I seen the guy's name, the penny dropped, and I thought it's him. He's the guy. And then I thought, right, if he died before a certain date, I think it was 2010, and if he had a son, we're already well on our way. And when you also think about it, it was never going to be some random dude off the street. It had to be someone connected to quite a big organization or entity. For example, the Rockefellers. So eventually we narrowed it down. Well, I did. And in the end, it was Lawrence Spellman Rockefeller. He's the guy, in my view. He's the guy. So maybe someone can debunk it in the future and say that I was completely wrong and way off the mark. But I don't know. I think we might revisit that situation. I want to revisit as well the McCann case. We've got more information coming out, more books, more magazines, more Netflix, more TV shows, you name it, millions and millions. Yeah. Forget about the rest of the children who go missing. Nope. Don't talk about that. Madeleine McCann, though. Yeah. The never ending story. Of course. And when it comes to the McCann case, I mean, it is so many different rabbit holes, honestly. It's insane. We're going to have to revisit, possibly next month. Yeah, it has been a while, actually, since a Rockefeller horror show. Was it Rockefeller Horror Show or Rocka Horror Show? I can't remember. It has been a while, right? Yeah, I think we could be due one, to be honest. I think they done quite well. The streams that I done in regards to the Rockefeller Horror Show. I mean, it is a horror show. There is no good news whatsoever when it comes to the Rockefeller entity. There simply isn't. So yeah, I think you could be right, Carmel. We might have to make it happen, right? And see what they've been up to. Maybe they've gone away. Yeah, let's go with that, right? They're gone now. They're good guys now. Yeah, let's go with that. So let me see. Why did I mess it up before? If I just go straight to mm, 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 mm. There we go. We should be cooking by gas now. That's the headline that I seen earlier on today. Apocalyptic Canada. Nah, climate change. Yeah, wildfire. Mm-hmm. Apocalyptic. The end of the world, right? The end of the world. There's a song in there somewhere. Ah, look! You can't see. Have we got? I don't think we went for audio. Bugger. What's my car doing? What are you wanting? She's come to join. Oh, she's yawning now. Um, Jesus, I can't see it because of the smoke. Yeah, dash cam footage. Mm-hmm. Captured the moment a car drove through a wildfire. Right. Drove through a wildfire. I take it was an important it was an important drive then, right? That they had to do. Otherwise, why would you risk it? Unless you wanted to risk it for the dash cam footage, right? Climate change! Complete panic in the car. Shh, peeing out the window. Put it out, put it out. I mean, to be honest, that would freak me out. That I would not be driving through that. No way. Oh, yeah, don't be afraid. Don't worry. Yeah. I don't know about that. I mean, it wouldn't be me. I mean, you should wait, right? I guess, yeah, how long would you have to wait? Is it worth the risk, though? Would it be worth the risk? Potentially blowing yourself up. Would it be worth the risk? I don't think it would be, to be honest. A bull charges into dancing crowd. Yeah, well, it looks like it's in a some form of arena, right? Where a bull could pop kids and every. Oh Jesus, there it goes. Oh, what? You don't mess with the bull, the Taurus, right? Some people not even bothered. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Completely just standing there. One of the guys. Let me see. Mute it. I've not got my headphones on. I probably should. In Australia. Uh, why does it keep doing that? It kicked a few people there. I mean, what do they call these again? Rodeos or stuff like that. When I always find it quite, I don't know. I struggle to see how people find it entertaining. The same with horse racing, and I would ban it, but I would probably ban it. I mean, where's the rights for these animals that we care for? And they breed them to race them. Then when they break their leg, they shoot them in the head. I just find it so inhumane. Why is it showing us a load of bloody nonsense? The BBC, it's like TikTok now. all these videos that come up. The future of the news, right? Like a TikTok reel, basically. That's what it's going to be like. It's like idiocracy already. We're already there. Look at the image they've got there, CBC. The wee bike burnt out. Like the end of the world. Ah! There's nothing like a bad news story to sell for the media. And of course they over egg it, amplify it by 10 to make it look more appealing, maybe, than all the other stories because they're all talking about it, right? So quite bad at the moment. Wildfires by the looks of it. I wonder if we'll see a similar case in the UK this year. What are you doing, sausage? Come on, come here. I think she might want out. She's a wee bugger. California, I mean, Jesus. California seems to get attacked in every way, shape, or form since for decade after decade after decade after decade. I'm surprised it's even still there. Honestly, remember the document we covered? It talked about weather modification being carried out in California in the 1940s. They won't be doing it today. It won't be happening today. Let's go with that. So, a bit of a syndrome than previously thought. Syndrome roundup. While we're here. Jew, Carmel. Yeah. I mean, no one, I don't think anyone could rule that out. Weaponry. I mean, I always tend to think as well, there's so many ways to fight a war on so many different levels. And of course, we always tend to think, well, World War One, World War Two, boots on the ground, rifles and soldiers. Well, not quite. Not quite. I mean, remember the guy, and someone mentioned it again on the Richie Allen show. Yuri, what was his name? Yuri Beznamov? I can't remember. The Russian KGB agent. We've talked about him before. Remember how he talked about subversion and completely subverting or controlling the minds of whole nations? You don't even need military. You can manipulate their mind to pretty much accept anything. And of course, what did we see during the pandemic? They willingly locked themselves up by choice. They locked themselves up. And I mean, you could kind of maybe understand it if it was as bad as they claimed it was. You could kind of think, yeah, well, yeah, I'll stay out the way. But who were they trying to kid? Oh, my cat's wanting out. Wait a sec. We're back again. Bloody cats, man. Honestly. In and out, up and down. Honest to God. They're as bad as dogs. I don't know who's worse, actually. I think they're as bad as each other. They're both a pain, put it that way. So what have we got? Ah, forever chemicals. Yeah. Yeah. Shock horror. Yep. This is one I find very suspicious. I don't know what to believe about it. I really don't. The invisible forever chemical that could be or do anything. That could be blamed for anything. Right? We've kind of touched on forever chemicals in the past. I think they actually came up in the syndrome. So it's not a surprise to see them back again. Yeah. And of course, it's not good news. No, of course it's not. Because PFAS levels in ground and air could be higher than expected. What, higher in the air than expected? uh, hmm. No, they must mean higher. Yeah, higher levels. Yeah, of course. Yeah. High levels of toxic forever chemicals. They're forever. Ah! Horror chemicals. Ah! Found in New Hampshire soil samples raise questions about food and water pollution. Yeah, soil and water pollution. Nothing to do with the spraying, right? Hmm. But of course, they always kill more than two birds with the one stone guaranteed. Masters at it. So I'm unsure what to make of the forever chemicals, to be honest. In the air. I mean, in the air. Yeah. I mean, what could come from that? Lockdown. Ah, it's in the air! High levels of pollen and forever chemicals. Lockdown. Yeah. A war against the forever chemicals. Quick, get martial law. We need to combat the forever chemicals, right? It's for your safety. We've been testing the air with our super duper computer test. It's not good. It doesn't make for good readings, right? Of course, it's Stevie Wonder that's doing it. Always Stevie. Why do you keep getting Stevie? He's the only guy we've got. Yeah. So 100 shallow soil samples they got. And it was bad news. And it was worse than previously thought. Dun, dun, dun. And it's pretty disturbing. Yeah, why would it be? Because they're knuckles. They're forever. Because they live forever, or a long time at least. And what are they connecting it to? Yeah. Serious health problems. Oops. Like cancer, thyroid disease, kidney dysfunction, birth defects, autoimmune diseases, and other serious health problems. Right. Quite a bug, that, right? Quite the bug. And I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't know. We've got to take it with with a pinch of salt, right? It's kind of it can be kind of hard to deny that There could be chemicals everywhere. We're pretty much dead man fused with these toxins and chemicals and plastics and what have you. And they could pretty much now say anything. And I mean, by all means, these toxins and chemicals, yeah, probably are bad news. But to what extent would be the question? That we would probably not know or never know. We would have to go by what the so called experts tell us. He's wearing a white jacket! Yay! He went to Harvard! Yay! Ah, the good guys, right? Yeah, the good guys. He's a politician. You can trust him. He's a doctor. You can trust him. Look, he's got a PhD. Yeah. So I don't know. We take it all with a pinch of salt, right? We might come back to that in the future. I'd imagine we would because it'll be back again in the syndrome. No two ways about it. You can be guaranteed once it's in there, it's not out. Any controlled narrative is guaranteed to end up in the unpreviously fought syndrome, which is home here. It's home at Talbanocky, or That's Life But Not As We Know It. My second claim to fame, right? So yeah, microplastics. Plastics recycling is far worse than we thought. Oh no. Oh bugger. Put it all back. Unrecycle it. It was a bad idea to begin with. Shock horror. I shouldn't laugh, but I mean, yeah, fucking what a surprise that is. We touched on this before, and I did say quite a while back, it was looking like they were going to come out and say, actually, recycling, bad idea. When all along, it was the next best thing. It was the key to the Holy Grail. Maybe not. And I did say, I remember saying this on my Facebook about, I think in maybe 2015 or 2016. I said, and I can remember it and it'll still be there. I said, if you've not heard about microplastics by now, you will. Oh, you will. And yep, fast forward to today, they are pushing it big time. And they're claiming now it's everywhere. Blood, brain, air, soil, fish, plant life, trees, the ocean, the river, the plankton. And I mean, again, we'll take their word for it, but you can kind of see as well. I mean, look at how much they flooded this world with every single item being plastic or part plastic or a percentage plastic. I mean, they went completely fucking mental with it. And then they've got the brass neck to blame it on us. Yeah. Of course, yeah. Now, if you're telling me that this is by accident, I can't buy it. I could not buy that. This is not by accident. No way. They've either deliberately poisoned the planet or they've put these toxins out there for many reasons, including as basically, I'm struggling how to describe it, as a kind of fall guy. Ah, the microplastics done it, when actually it was something else. Because when it comes to these entities, you can be guaranteed one thing: deception and not honesty. And probably a million miles from the actual fucking truth. That's the whole point of the media today. Unfortunately. And I don't know, people might disagree with that. Well, they will. They certainly will. I mean, I'm not denying that microplastics are probably everywhere. What I would be cautious of is what they actually do to humans, the blood, the sea, the fish, the soil. Now, if the media came out and said, oh, by the way, the exhaust fumes that get sprayed in the sky, it's bad news. That I could fucking buy. But of course, that would never happen. Although, in saying that, never say never, right? Never say never. What did we go on to there? Early Europeans were using fire. Oh, me make fire. 50,000 50,000 of years earlier than previously thought, say scientists. Ah, fucking hell, they can't even get that right. When did we make fire again? I don't know. We'll go with this year. Then next year we'll change it. No one's even watching. No one cares anymore. I mean, every day it's like they sit in a wee room. What we rewriting today? Oh, fire. Oh, good one. Right. Yep. 50,000 years earlier than previously thought. Do you think they'll buy it? Oh, they'll buy it, all right. They'll buy it. Hook, line, and sinker. Especially when it's the BBC. Oh, yeah, the go to, the completely trustworthy source, the most trustworthy source in the whole string theory universe, the ever changing galaxy. Yeah. I mean, is there anything they've got right or claim is right, written in stone? There's nothing whatsoever. The whole world changes every day, and the majority of people don't even know it until years later. Oh, did that change? Did it? Oh, I thought it was still. Oh, no, it's changed again. And by the time they finish that conversation, it's yep, you guessed it, changed again. The forever changing story. You can be guaranteed one thing about a lie: it'll always change. Quite comical when you step back. Making out in Mesopotamia. Kissing older than previously thought. I mean, come on. That's got to be older than the hills, that, right? Surely. I mean, yeah, talk about priorities. Plenty of time on their hands, these dudes. Too much time. 6 mass extinction event predicted to be worse than previous. Run! Where are we going to run, actually? Mars. That's a good idea. We'll go to Mars. Get Elon. Start the engines. Nope. I'm fine where I'm at. It's going to be worse than they predicted. Yeah. It'll be all that microplastics then, right? Mm-hmm. The modern 6 mass even extinction event is going to be worse than prior research has shown. That's a new one, that, right? Yeah. Yeah. Didn't want to say than previously thought. Yeah, sometimes they'll adapt it to an extent, but it's the same old trick, right? So the mass extinction is now in the syndrome. That won't be a surprise, that. What they're claiming now, and we've touched on this before, it's not a secret. What they're claiming is we're in pretty much a complete die-off of pretty much everything. It would appear that a great reset includes even us. Whether or not that can be stopped, I'm unsure. But we keep going. We've got to keep going. We've got to keep fighting. We can't give up. We can't fall for their tricks, their blackmail, their bullying. And we won't. We certainly will not fall for it. So they can bring it on. They can, honest to God, bring on whatever it's going to be. We're going to fight it anyway. And we'll see in the end who the victor's going to be. And personally, I feel that it's going to be good. My deep down feeling is that there's a lot to go through yet. But I feel that in the end, and I probably won't be here. Maybe I will, who knows? In a meta form. But I think the day will come when a new dawn beckons and good people get to the helm once again. Because we are controlled like sheep. I mean, I would struggle to see how even the most fast asleep person could disagree with that. We are cattle in fancy dress, pretty much. In a a fancy pen with electricity. Apart from that, we're pretty much the fucking same. And some people don't like that thought. No, I'm superior. Some people I remember I've said that to someone before and they had to go at me. It was quite funny. Oh, we've missed almost 100 comments. I couldn't, my phone passed away, so I couldn't check. I'm hoping we're still going. We appear to be. We've still got people here, which is always good, right? But we are going to wrap it up. And I reckon I'm going to be back on maybe Friday. So you might want to look out for that. Let me think. Yeah, so I'm hoping to get Bart next week. It would be the end of next week. I'm unsure. If I can get it for this week, then I will. Failing that, it'll be next week. But I'll keep you updated on it. As soon as I get a date confirmed, I'll put up a reminder so you can see it. So there's going to be no excuses. And I'll be watching. I'll be looking for you, right? So we'll jump in the chat and we'll say cheerio if I can work it. There we go. I've got 1 or 2 videos in the pipeline. So look at them, right? Remember and check out the website as well. I already know the audio's good, Rich. Where have you been? I think Rich bumped his head. somewhere in the last half an hour. We went through that already. Honestly. My son, what am I going to do with him? Honest to God. I don't know. Anyway. I'm unsure. I'm trying to think when I'm going to have time because this week I'm flat out. It's like the final few weeks of the college course as well. And my lecturer, one of my lecturers has been chasing me up. "Yeah, I've got work that's overdue." Oh, bugger. There was one project that I hadn't completed. Well, there's two actually that I need to complete tomorrow night. So I'm gonna be busy tomorrow night getting them completed. And then I reckon I'm almost there. And if I can pass it, I'll be shocked, to be honest. Um, for me personally, there was two main goals that I set out at the start. The first goal, the main goal was at least to learn as much as I can about at least plant life, growing, and as much about horticulture as possible. So I've achieved that already. I I achieved that quite early on, to be honest. Day one, yep, learnt already, achieved. Every day's a school day with me, anyway. So I certainly achieved that goal, and I'm very happy with that. I'm happy with the knowledge I've picked up. The second goal was to at least complete the course, which even for me would be an achievement. Uh, well, especially for me to get something completed. uh, I mean, it's rare to hear that in my life to actually finish something that I set out to do. My wife will vouch for that, right? I'm sure. So the two goals that I set out, I've achieved pretty much. Well, almost the second one. I'm about 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. But the big bonus would be to actually complete it, complete the higher education. That would be if you told me that 2 years ago, I would have laughed at it. I would have pretty much walked away in laughter. Who, me? But I mean, I'm almost there. I'm really proud of myself, and I can get a bit of self comfort from that because, honest to God, and I kind of feel that other people can maybe benefit because if I can do it, anybody can do it. Honest to God. Sometimes maybe I maybe don't give myself the chances that I should. Maybe writing myself off too early. With a lot of things, but I guess we live and learn, right? But honestly, if I can do it, anybody can do it. If there's something you think that you can't do that you maybe wanted to do, trust me, you can do it. You can do it. And I'm almost there now. And if I do complete it, I'm going to be over the moon. And it's a good kind of feeling, I guess. Um, so I'm quite happy at the moment. Uh, the days are getting better. The summer's pretty much here, so it's a good feeling coming in. The winters can be harsh. They can be dragging. They drag on for quite a while here anyway. So the sunny days they help. Oh, Sadie is in the hood as well. Where did she go? I missed it. Ah, there we go. My good friend Sadie. I hope you're well. You and your mum. Here in Bonnie, Scotland. So yeah, I'm this week quite busy. So if I get a chance, I'll jump on, right? And we can get a catch up. I always enjoy it. The time flies. I've went longer than previously thought. Shock horror, right? But we'll be back again, and we will get into uh, a certain topic or two, right? So look out for it, and I'll let you know as soon as I hear from. As soon as we've got a date and a time arranged, me and Bart, I'll let you know and I'll put it out. It likely will go on the original channel at risk of getting a strike again. But hey, that's the way of it. That's the world that we're in. It's not the world that I want. It's not the world that we created. It's the way. Oh, what happened there? It's the way it's set up. YouTube. They don't want people talking about stuff they don't want you talking about. But it's for your safety. So don't worry. Fear not. So I'll find a tune and we'll call it a night. And yeah, I'll be back again as soon as I can. And like I always say, get out there, enjoy yourself. Don't let anybody get in your way whatsoever. And don't for one split second live in fear. Don't do it. Don't. And like I always say, no matter what, no matter where, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.
Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Oh Lord, they know trouble so hard. Oh Lord, they know trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Yes, I went down the other day. My soul was happy with the street on me. I went down the other day. My soul was happy with the street on me. Oh Lord, they know trouble so hard. Oh Lord, they know trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. And I went up that hill again today. My soul was happy with the state of me. But I went to my room and did stay long. Looked at the bed and my brother was there. Oh Lord, they know trouble so hard. Oh Lord, they know trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God.
We got to get down, Eagle. Listen, tranquility boosters. The Eagle has limits. Roger, tranquility. We copy on the ground. You got a bunch of guys about to turn blue. We're bringing